We are live from Buffalo and Ohio. Kevin Czuba, building a bike. How you doing? Where you at? Oh,
What's
there you
up? How
are.
you doing? Sorry, hiding on you.
Did you plan that? Did you plan that entrance?
No, I reset my YouTube over there so I can watch you and watch myself at the same time, but it's running through ads right now, so it's gonna be great and laggy, which would be perfect. So
That is funny. So, how you doing?
good. How are you?
Good. That's good.
It's it's been a hot minute since we've done one of these. So
Yeah, you literally were one of the first people I did live stuff with, building wheels, building bikes, all kinds of stuff.
you've gotten better at it too. So.
Well,
So where do we start? We got how many people we got in the chat so far? Enough to
well,
start?
there was 16 or 18, but 17 now. So I suppose we could talk about what we're gonna do.
Okay. Basically, we're going to be taking my current rig and only utilizing a couple bits off of it, um, just because I don't need to replace my stem, my handlebars, or my pedals. But pretty much everything else is going onto a fresh new kink crosscut. So the Royale has served me very well. She's, still in workable condition, a little bit beat up, but just felt it was why not treat yourself, right? So
Yeah, well, I mean, why not? Yeah. And just out of safety aspects, replacing
well,
parts.
the fork has 5 years on it, give or take,
Geez, yeah.
or however long ago that old video is. It might be four, but still, it's with front brakes landing backwards a lot of times. It's like I'm sure it's been stressed to its max. So we got a new Odyssey fork ready to go. So
Nice. Um, so yeah, we our guests are just gonna have Kevin build a whole new bike tonight. Sounds like fun.
we're also going to take a vote a little bit later as to which seat we're going to use. So stick around. So when we get to that point, you can give your input.
Yeah.
I
Shout
know.
out to Park Tool, by the way.
Oh, this park stand is probably at minimum 20 to 25 years old.
25 years old. Shout out. Oh, I got my hat all crooked, but shout out to Park Tool.
Yeah, I mean, it's been rewelded. It's got zip ties holding things together. Uh, it put together tons and tons of bikes. Like I can't even conceive of how many this thing has put together. It's pretty wild. So
That's awesome. And I guess while you have that frame off, can we get a better look at it?
sure.
Why did you pick the crosscut of all the frames you could have bought?
Well, I already had a Williams for a while. I was on the Royale, which was a bit more. It was more aggressive than the Williams. This one's kind of almost like a little bit of a middle ground between the two, but it's still kind of more in that real kind of tight and aggressive kind of feel. I think a head tube angle is a 75.5, and it's got a real short back end on it. So for what I do, which is a lot of like ground and kind of techity based stuff, it it's going to do what I want it to do. So plus the color is super sweet.
Yeah,
I don't know
is
if you
that
can tell.
purple?
Yeah, it's like a metallic purple with a like orange bottom, but it
Nice.
depends on how the light hits it. Cause sometimes it almost like a burgundy color, which is pretty neat. So
Jim Jam
yep.
says, "Ooh, fall colors. Kevin is getting seasonal." That's funny.
That is hilarious. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. Um,
So, where do we
so
start?
well, I already popped the bottom brackets in just because Um, I mean, Sasquatch told me to just pound them in with a brick or a hammer, and I said no. It's like I used a bench vise instead, so that's already in. Um, I figure we'll probably start like
Where do you
probably with the
normally
cranks.
start?
I'll start with the cranks because that way I don't have to pull anything off the current rig at the moment. um,
Mm, yeah.
we're going with a set of kink brace cranks. I'm actually going a little bit shorter this time. Usually run a 170. These are 165s, 22 millimeter spindle, left and right hand compatible. So
What's your reasoning for going 5 mil shorter?
Just give it a shot, try it, see how it feels. I've ridden short cranks for flatland, so this is just kind of like, let's try it out on here and see how it works. So
Nice. Cool.
now, what's the most important thing we do whenever we install like metal on metal, Brant?
Grease.
Grease. That's right.
Grease. Yeah.
Oh, also sprockets too, right? We got to go with that. So
Yeah, the
going with
sprockets
a
part.
Cinema Real sprocket,
Guard. What size?
of course, 28 tooth,
Nice.
as you should. Why you want to run a 25, so tiny.
When am I going to be upstate again? Oh, I do not know. I was so this past weekend I was in New Jersey, drove through Connecticut, Rhode Island, went to Massachusetts to the Edge skate park, hung out, rode at the Dan's Comp Jam, filmed that. It was a good time, but I'm not sure when I'll make it back out there.
I would suggest waiting until it gets warmer.
That's a great point. I felt very lucky in all of that we didn't have early snow in New England, because I was dreading if I was going to have to drive up there in a snowstorm.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any like local to Buffalo indoor skate parks aside from Rochester, which that's like another hour and change, which I think you're used to commuting for Rays. So
Yeah, my Rays trip, we moved, and my Rays trip got 5 minutes shorter. So it was like, nice.
So here's a cool little bit on these cranks. They do have an Allen key section, but you can also just pop your socket right in there as well.
Nice. 3/8 driver just fits right in there. That's awesome.
It fits the bits.
Fits the bits. For anybody who's... What?
Go ahead. Nope,
I was just going to say, for anybody who's joining us, my friend Kevin Czuba has built bikes in live streams on this channel in the past, and he was building up this new bike, planning to, and asked if we wanted to live stream it. So we're doing a throwback to the olden days of this YouTube channel, where Kevin would jump on here and help me lace wheels, or he build a bike. James? Did James build a bike, or was it
James built one with you too? Yep, that was like just right before the end times. So
yeah, so we did your bike and James's bike.
Yeah, we did.
So Kevin's currently putting the sprocket and cranks together.
And this time, my last couple builds have had Kink Eastman sprockets on them. I just decided to switch up for just something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And the color scheme for all the parts is pretty much going to be in the realm of silver and black, just because the coloration on this frame was a really, really hard purple to try and match up with anything.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. What's up, Zeki? There's so many people. Caleb Oni's in here. Hey, Brant, if I send you a set of wheels, can you true them for me by chance?
By tomorrow?
Yeah, I can't do it for free, and I don't know what address I would give you. But I do want to also say, since there's a bunch of people who probably are on my channel quite a bit in here watching, we have changed my code for S&M and Fit. If you're going to use it to get 10% off, instead of Brant, it's now more. And you could use that and get 10% off and help me. And I figured, if you're going to be building a bike of kink and cinema parts, I should probably throw a plug for S&M and Fit here at the beginning.
No, that's cool. And remember, you can save more with more. So, boom. Hey.
Awesome. So you're putting the cranks on. It's got to be convenient to be able to just use that 3/8 driver like that.
It is very nice, because basically, if you don't have, I don't have an 8, I don't have you don't have the right size, as long as you got a socket, you're good to go. So
right.
Just kind of dry fitting those on there for you. So yeah.
Looks good.
There we go.
Oh,
Crank flip ready. Right.
I want to see you do a crank flip.
So do I.
Hoorah. I have a video on how to jump a spine. All you gotta do is search how to jump a spine, and it will come up. Ooh, what's
I know,
next?
I know this probably is going to be a conflict of interest too, as well, because my gosh. So, but we've got brand new kink brakes, the Desist 2s.
Nice. I rode the
Granted, they're not
desist
complete
cranks.
editions. I know, but
Well, they'll be out this spring. You can replace them.
that is true.
I rode the desist brakes for a while. Those
I
were
know.
good brakes.
Yeah, they sent you like a kit, I think, or something like that, and then you did like a full breakdown on it, right?
Yeah, I rode them for a while, and then they sent me a kit, and I put new ones on, talked about all their brake components and everything, and it's cool. I'm down for anything like that. Like, that's the nice part about the companies and the people that I work with, is that they're okay with me talking about stuff in other videos if it benefits me, like, don't want to hold myself back, because this channel isn't, just focused on one or two things.
Some of the things that they changed on them this time went a little bit more robust on the tensioning mechanisms.
Can you get a little closer?
Sure. I put on the clear pads. So
Cool. And they
And that
kept
it
the
actually-
same
same kind of system,
yeah,
but they're actually held in. They're held in by C clips now,
right. I could see people having those just fall out or losing
and
them.
that it actually comes with everything you need to do dual cable setup, single rear,
Nice.
front. So it's basically super adaptable right out the box.
That's good. Putting the brakes on. Seat stay?
Yep. Here's the challenge: is like I'm going to try to build while so you can see what's going on, but also like normally I would be facing the bike. So this is like I'm trying to build it like sideways and backwards a little bit here. So
That's okay. We all know that building a bike can be a little tedious at times.
it's fun.
It is fun. I agree. Brakes are going on. C-clips. Someone's like, C-clips with exclamation points and question marks. Yes, the brakes.
Secrets.
They have a mechanism on them that it kind of pivots when you pull the brakes and gives a little bit more movement.
Yep, I can
Freedom
show
of
that on
movement?
when I do the front ones. Yep.
And
So that way it's not locked in. It's not like a locked in point. Like some brakes just have it where it's like a. Right? I know the old brakes used to have it was like just a hard, stopping point. That was it for where the levers or where the the cable's attached.
so the pieces that do that are held in by C-clips. There
So
you
you
go.
can see that there, and this piece actually
Yeah.
pivots.
The old ones did not get held in by anything other than the little knob when you turned it.
Yep. Yeah, basically a little knob tension, and that's all it. That's all that was holding it on there. So
Which I never had any problems with, but I could see if somebody took their brakes off, they could lose that piece, and then,
yes,
oh no, that sucks.
if it wasn't under tension, that is a possibility. So we'll toss the front brakes on too, since we're doing brakes.
Thank you, Caleb. You're the man.
I use the Cool Stop Flatland pads in clear because I absolutely love the way that they squeak and squeal and just kind of scream. So
That's
if you
honestly
have-
most of why I use brake tar, because it makes them loud and annoying.
So you use brake tar. Okay.
Yeah, cheese stuff, Chi?
Oh yeah. Gosh, you talked about that like a long while back too.
Yeah, well, he, like, when I was in Buffalo that one time for your jam and we went and rode street afterwards with all the Merritt guys, he basically didn't give me a choice. He's like, we're putting this on your bike. And I'm glad that he did, because it was awesome. Looking for a good bike for skate park riding? Go to Fit's website and use the code MORE on the bike that you like, because there's the PRK. You just missed out on a great deal on a PRK, but the PRK is there. You get 10% off it. Uh, Kevin,
Yes.
what fork you got there?
Oh, that's right. I should have talked about that before I started trying to put stuff on here. Just like Jeff Mead, Odyssey F25 with front brake mounts because, I mean, I don't know why you would trust any other brake or any other fork than an Odyssey at this point. And plus, there's only, what, a couple companies that make forks with front brakes anymore.
Yeah,
Does
there's not very many.
do the pitchforks still come with brake mounts
I
or
think
no?
they do make them. Let me double check here. I think it's one of those things, they're making everything there. So when they run out, it might be a bit before the next batch ends up being made. Yeah, I don't see any on this site currently.
But with them being made on site, they could do it. I'm assuming so.
Yeah, if there's demand for it, they can do a run of them whenever.
That's the thing. There's not a ton of people that run front brakes, so
I know one thing is that next time they do a run of them, I'll probably get some and put them on that complete fit that I've been doing videos with.
how many things have you replaced on that one so far?
We did the cranks, the forks, the bars, the brake pads, put some pegs on it. I'm going to ride it this week or next week and then replace something else.
There we go. So far,
Looking good.
nice color scheme. These actually have more clearance on them. There's more clearance here.
Yep.
See, and I already kind of test fit my tires on there, and I was like, ooh, I'm not running into the barely,
Yeah.
just on the edge.
Watching from Metro Detroit, just finished an 81 Mongoose Resto Mod build, debating on what flatland to build next.
Ooh,
What do we say?
that's fancy.
I don't know anything about bikes from the 80s to be able to say.
Depends on how much money he wants to spend. So
That's a great point.
I figure we'll probably slap the fork in there. At that point, we might have to start taking some things off the old rig. But I'm going to be using Cinema headset, which actually comes with 3 different stack heights.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. So you can kind of choose your own adventure.
Kevin, would you believe that there are 40 people watching you build a bike right now?
I believe it. I know I'm good for your numbers. So.
Well, hey, that shirt, it's bringing the people in.
So when you get a headset, I mean, I'm sure you may have covered this, but for some of maybe the younger viewers out there, it comes with one of these for the bottom.
Yep.
Most modern forks already have that race built in.
Yep, it's called a crown race, that piece that's in his hand, and you can see on the fork there that it has the same angle and same place for the bearing to seat itself that crown race has, so you don't need to put that on most modern BMX forks. I would say at this point, it's got to be almost all of them.
Pretty much, unless you are, let's say you have like a real basic complete, one that had like the old pound and headsets, which I think some companies still have.
Yeah.
I know like some like the lower end, like the entry level ones. So if you were to take that fork and put it onto a frame like this, you would need that adapter basically to go in place of, the loose ball bearing race that's down below. So
because the pounded bearing just sits flat against the fork.
it has there's a race that that works with the unsealed bearings. So,
I gotcha. So you'd have to take that off.
Yep.
And what I'm going to say is that I would never recommend reusing one of those forks. Just save up some money and get an aftermarket BMX fork.
All right, we're going to shift this over.
You should just prevent yourself from ever needing to put a crown race on a fork that is modern and meant for like actually riding. Just try to avoid that.
We are going to pop off my pedals because we're going to be reusing those.
That's fair.
Which I may have to go out and grab a bigger wrench because these are Oh boy, yeah, no, that ain't gonna work.
I think you were going the wrong way.
Nope. Back to the left. Yeah, we'll check. We're doing it upside down.
You
too,
need a
so
17. Well, they tighten forward when the bike's right side up.
that is correct. That's the thing. You start working on things upside down and backwards, things get confusing real fast. So
No doubt. Those pedals, I believe, are a 17.
they are. So we'll see if we have what we need. I am going to be replacing my grips. I'm going to be popping on some yellow Charlie, no longer known as Charlie grips. So I hope he doesn't hate me for this, but I just really like the way these feel. So
Do they still make those?
they're still available.
Okay.
And I know I still have, I have some and I can get some. I know Blackout still has them and I think Merit might have them too, but I got the yellow because it matches that little yellow slash that's on here. So
Oh, dude, that bike is going to be so sick when it's done, color-wise.
try to have a clean color scheme.
Yeah. From seeing them last Thursday, they seemed pretty beat up. That's what Mark said about your pedals.
Oh yeah. Well, the pedals, my grips, the JCPCs are amazing. I absolutely love them. And I will ride those until all the parts have been, gone and taken away from us.
I think
We're
they're
also
gonna
going
last.
to be, what's that?
I think they're going to keep making those.
Yeah, that is definitely one where the ability to modularly adjust your pedals, and I can show you once I take them off once we get to that part. But we're going to be reusing our stem, reusing the
meme stem.
Yep, the memed stem. So
I love the whole situation that happened with that stem and the fact that I have one because of the memes.
I just love that it just got so blown out of proportion that it
Yeah.
was just like, it's a front load with a bit of elevation.
BMX wishes that stem was the worst of its worries right now.
Oh God, yeah.
Because at one point it was, and it's kind of crazy to look back now.
We're not saying the state of BMX is in a bad way, but it could be better. So
Yeah. Bars
So,
going on. So you're going to do this upside down?
No, God, no. We'll end up flipping it. So we got the Kink Williams bars in 4-piece. Earlier last year, decided to go 4-piece and be more street. Got the Cinema projector stem, which, again, just a front load stem with a bit of a kick to it. So basically, instead of having a flipped, like a top load stem, it's giving you the rise of a top load with the look of a front.
Yep.
An old school Odyssey made in the USA gyro with the locking grub screws.
Oh,
so you can actually lock a cable. Oh, yeah.
Look.
There, get that down.
I have one too.
Nice. We will be replacing the brake levers with the brand new Kink Resist ones in chrome. They just literally, I'm picking them up tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah.
And then for my bar pad, that's from the Yeah. You can find them on Instagram. I don't know if it's showing up in here. Is it like glowing?
No, it's not.
Because it's like when the light hits it. Let's see if we can do this. No.
I don't think it comes through on camera too.
Yeah.
Great.
Plus, if it was dark in here and we shine the light on it, this one is basically like reflective. It's pretty wild. It looks black, but it goes reflective when you are in the dark. Oh.
Somebody said brakeless for the win.
I can almost guarantee who said that.
No, you can't.
It's probably Matt.
Nope, it wasn't. It was somebody that I'm not sure who it was.
Wow.
But I think it's always funny when you see those. I have a 34R gyro. Oh, you lucky. Oh, I know you do, Adam, you punk.
What does he have?
The 34R gyro.
Which one was that?
The company 34R it has the screws on the top and the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, look at that! Right tool for the job. Using a 17 millimeter wrench, and these things break right loose.
Weird, right?
I know. This is crazy.
I don't know. It just doesn't even make sense.
All right. So, we'll could see a little bit of the use and abuse that she's been through.
What are you gonna hang this one up?
I don't know what's happening with this one yet. It's like there's gonna be a lot of bits and pieces. It may just get reused to something else. All right, we're gonna have to go a little bit weird with this because I can't have it up in the stand because it'll fall apart.
Yep,
So
I get it.
We're gonna do a little flippy dippy here on the ground.
I'm gonna move it up a little bit so we can see it still. And then you just gotta put everything on there. Gyro plate, gyro stem going on.
Now let's see. Okay, we're actually gonna have to add a. Looks like we can actually add a spacer on this one.
How's that possible?
What do you mean?
Does that one have a shorter head tube than your old frame?
I think it has a little bit of a shorter head tube.
That would make sense.
Yep. Or they may have lengthened the steer tube length on the fork.
That's
because
possible.
When that fork was, if it's 4 or 5 years old, head tubes really didn't start getting super long yet. So there's a possibility that it just might be one of those situations where fork was originally designed off of what was current.
Right.
Once we get this back together, then we can slap it up. We'll be good to go.
Shout out to that Park Tool truing stand that I just noticed.
Yep. That is not 25 years old, but it's up there in years as well. So
those stands are so nice. I have one of the 3.3 or 4 point whatever is now the bigger one.
Gotcha.
It's nice to use those.
The new ones are so nice because they'll go up to like the 29er wheels.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, if I'm going to do a 29er, I have to take the tire off.
Oh yeah.
Which is horrible.
Understandable.
But there we go. Just for
look at that.
Bar spin ready.
Nyquist is stoked on your gyro wobble right now. That's funny. Pretty sure the F25 has a slightly longer steer than the brakeless version. I wonder.
This is a TS2.
That's so cool.
And it says quality made USA.
I love it. If you guys haven't seen it already, because it was however many years ago, Kevin and I did a tour of all of his park tools because he has some that were made like at the very beginning of Park Tool being a company, and it's really cool.
It's not because I've been around that long. It's just because I have stuff from past people that owned a bike shop and whatnot. So we're going to be adding on something that probably some folks are not familiar with, especially if they're not using brakes and gyros. We're adding on gyro tabs.
Ooh, those go on
little tiny screw.
Nice.
This is always like slightly nerve-wracking because you don't want to strip out that tiny little bit of threading.
That makes you nervous?
Probably.
That's funny. I don't know. I guess I'm just careful, so I don't think too much of that part.
Well, you're also not doing it while talking to someone live on the internet, so.
I know there's 43 people who it would be really embarrassing to mess up in front of.
Brant, is that a natural 43?
Kinda.
That is something that I know that Joe Sisman is all about, and it seems like a lot of the older riders are about like 43. That was never something that I was very aware of.
Yeah.
But it just as I've hung out with the Flatlanders, I've become much more aware of it.
Yeah, I get it and all, but I feel like the whole 43 thing is just too forced. It can't be real if you force it.
That's true. So we got gyro tabs on there, which will go for the lower gyro cables.
Which you don't do custom versions of, so you don't have to.
Nope.
You just slap them on.
Yep, stock out of the box. Lower dual gyro from Kink.
Which those cables are sweet.
It has simplified the gyro setup experience. Basically, you got two cables that are already hooked up to what we used to refer to as a London mod.
Yep.
And then what Kink has is these cool little balls on here, and that just hooks right in here. You just dial it in that way. So you don't even have to cut the cables, like if you don't want to.
Three options basically for where your cables will sit in your brake arms. And unlucky for me, the setup that I have wasn't perfect for those. So I had to adjust barrel adjusters out like really far.
Of all the bikes that I have built for myself and otherwise, including like a couple of stock bikes that I switched over, the Williams, the Royale, the Crosscut, even the Drifter, which is their 26-inch. I use these on a 26-inch BMX bike with a gyro.
Nice.
The only one it didn't work on was a local guy got a 22-inch frame made, and they somehow did they put the brake mount or the cable mount way back here.
Oh, that's weird.
So basically it was like it was like too stretched out.
Yeah. Huh.
It was a very bizarre situation. The first time I'd ever run into it.
Huh. Another
so
thing,
we had to do a Brant more like cable, cable customization. So
another thing that's kind of cool about those cables is that if you break one of them, you can just if you have a spare set, you can just swap one of them out.
Yes, because the London mod actually has a slot. I don't think I showed that.
That's okay.
But basically, if you unthread this, there's a slot here, so you can unslot it. I have even
you don't even have to. Yeah, you don't even have to unslot it. You could pull the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm. And you can use that and just make your own custom cables.
Yep.
So it's a nice little setup.
Yeah, I liked it. It worked really well for me for a long time, and then I broke one, and then I broke a few of them pretty quick there, and I just kind of ran out of my stock and just went back to my custom setups.
I mean, you tend to ride kind of hard and a lot, so
my brake pulling is pretty intense sometimes.
And I think what we're going to look for is if I've got an Allen. Sorry if that's going to sound awfully loud.
That's part of the experience, right?
It's part of the ASMR, right?
Yeah. Somebody actually made an S&M order while we were live, so whoever that was, you're awesome.
That's sweet.
Yeah. What are you getting right now?
I was looking for a smaller Allen just so I wouldn't have to keep
the 5
de-socketing, which
yeah.
I do not have all my tools with me, so because we're not doing it in the garage this time, so
you're warm inside your house.
It's much warmer in here.
I get it, man. It's so nice having everything inside too.
I mean, if we would have talked a month ago, it would have been fine outside, but now it's like we're basically into once the sun goes down at 4:30,
Yeah.
It's probably like 32 degrees out there, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't have a warm Park Tool hat like Brant does, so.
Ha ha ha.
That's a very nice hat, Brant.
Thank you. That's one thing that I noticed when we were in Massachusetts that you don't notice until you're as far to one side of a time zone as you can get. Like when you are as far on that side of a time zone, it gets darker earlier.
Oof.
So, for example, if you go the other way and you get as close as you can get to the next time zone to the west, but not in it yet. It gets darker later
Hmm.
because you're geographically further west and the time hasn't changed yet, so it makes it get darker later. There's your lesson of the day.
I think we just need to abolish the time change altogether because it generally takes me about a week or so to get back on track, and I don't like it.
Well, I thought that was like supposed to be a thing.
Yeah, and then I think it didn't go through. So JCPCs.
Yes, forever JCPCs, even if they change
Forever.
the name to OGPC.
Forever. So the top one is purple on this because I took the white ones and dyed them. As you can see, the white shining through.
Yeah.
I run all pins facing up on that side and then completely naked on the other.
Dang, that's a lot of grip.
Yeah. I mean, already kind of got it worn down where I've pretty much mangled off the heads already. So
One thing I will say is, that Zach Gerber 3D prints. He
yes.
can 3D print yellow ones for you.
I could also dye yellow ones too, which is neat. Now, the
Then
3D print material, I don't know if anybody that's used them or whatnot, how does that hold up? Like, have you heard anybody with any feedback on that?
it
I'm just
seems
curious
like
to
it holds
3D
up.
printed material.
Seems like it holds up pretty well.
Grease, pedals, the cranks, grease.
You don't
So that
want to cold weld them?
when your poor future self goes to change out your pedals and they can't take them off because you didn't grease them.
I don't know, man. I like to cold weld my pedals to my cranks. It's so much fun when you have to change them and can't.
It's for durability, right?
It makes it a one-piece crank and pedal setup.
That is hilarious.
Man, you are steaming right through this.
This would be done already if I wasn't talking. So
Well, it's a good point, but you're like most of the way there.
now we did build up the wheels beforehand because I wasn't going to sit here for 2 hours and build wheels with you, which I have, or I've done pretty close to it. So
Yeah.
So for wheels, I went with the same tires that I had before, which are the Merit options. They're 2.35, and I knew I was going to have clearance. I might experiment and see if I can go a little bit bigger. As you know, most BMX tires have gotten pretty darn big, like 2.4, 245, 255.
Yeah,
it's like
nuts.
Yeah, the clearance gets a little bit wacky. Got the Cinema Reynolds rims, which are actually the same ones that I had previously, but this time in the polished. I don't jump off of things and drop, but I do land on them sideways a lot. So they have held up remarkably well under side loads. So if that is a concern of yours, I can at least speak to that.
Yeah.
Cinema FX front hub with the plastic guards ready to go. And before we pop these on, we're going to be putting on pegs as well.
Pegs.
And if you remember from way back in a lot of your early live streams, there was a certain gentleman that used to hang around and talk to you about stuff. I believe he's trying to get you to buy an RV at one point.
The RV Fund, Andrew Vargason. Shout out to him.
Yes. Shout out to AV and Grindworks. Grindworks pegs.
Foundation peg.
Grindworks_BMX at Instagram. They come in 2 different styles, the foundation and the other one. These are like the more streety style, thicker, 14 millimeter and 3/8, so no adapters. These have held up so remarkably well for me. I do a lot of the side sliders. So the fact that it looks like that after 2 years, it's like it hasn't folded over, it hasn't collapsed. Like, they have done a damn good job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if you're looking for some like bulletproof American-made pegs, hit up Andy, make his day.
Buy some pegs.
Buy some pegs, and just in case,
You're gonna have to hold it closer. Too close. Oh no, that was perfect. Oh, I see now. They're heat treated 4140 chromoly.
Yep, and they're for rectal use only. So
I was trying not to acknowledge it. Just to see how many people actually read it. That's funny.
Apparently, the roll of stickers was really cheap.
Yeah. Also, just to shout out again, with all 43 people in here, if every one of you hits the like button, there will be 63 people in here. Just saying. So you're putting on some pegs. You doing all four again?
Yep, of course. Always 4 pegs, always 2 brakes, always free coaster.
I feel it. The bike's starting to come together.
It's built for freestyle, so big, heavy, fresh. We are not in the business of having a light bike.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I believe on the video that you posted earlier today with Jeff, he was talking about how he's trying to lighten things up, and he got them nice fine titanium cranks and all this other fun stuff. I'm like, oh man, it's like I got to find myself a scale and weigh this thing when I'm done.
Yep.
Because I am sure that it is not the 24 and some odd pounds that his was at.
Yeah, but I bet you it's not ridiculous either.
I think the last time I weighed it, it was maybe 28, 29. I don't know.
Which isn't crazy.
No.
All things considered.
He had aluminum pegs, a crank that probably cost more than my frame did.
Yep. Front wheels on. This thing is really looking like a bike. Heck yeah. So what now?
Oh, back wheel, right? Probably, yeah. If we're going to do things in pairs, might as well do that. So same tire, same rim, but with an Odyssey Clutch Pro.
Oh.
So I got the new goodness after using the Odyssey V2 clutch for quite a while. I like a lot of slack in my free coaster. I want it, a lot of people want that instant engagement. I do not want that. I've tried the planetaries, not a fan.
Kevin is not a planetary boy.
Yeah, sorry guys.
It's okay. That's why they still make normal free coasters.
The other thing that I did switch out that just dropped to the ground, the Clutch Pro does come with a non-drive side plastic guard and a plastic drive side guard.
Yep.
I use the Mission metal guard.
Yeah.
Because it's bomb proof. I have it on my bike right now, and that one's been on there for 2 years.
Nice.
It is in fantastic shape, so I have 0 complaints. The plastic ones, I guess it all depends on what you do and how smooth you are. I guess I'm not smooth enough to run a plastic guard in the back.
Well, and you ride in the cold sometimes, and that when you ride in the cold with those guards, they can just explode. Just the nature of the material.
Nature of the beast.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to try to awkwardly throw this thing on here because this is always fun when you got multiple guards and trying to fight brakes.
Yeah.
We might have to remove some brake pads here.
Is Jeff's build up on my channel? Yes, that video was up today. Jeff Mead's bike check is live on my channel right now.
Go check out Jeff's bike build.
And then come right back.
Yes. Well, no. Wait till this is over. They can wait, Jeff.
We just hit 50 people, Kevin.
Woo!
Yippee!
That's sick.
That's fun.
I mean, I'm counting as one because I have it on my TV over here, so
Oh, don't tell people that because I have like 6 of them open, dude.
I'd say I'm juicing the numbers over
I'm
here.
cheating too, man.
Oh yeah, now she's starting to look like a bike.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot the chain tensioners.
What do you mean?
This has the integrated chain tensioners on it.
Oh, you didn't put them in?
I didn't put them in yet.
Ah.
Horribly unqualified bike mechanic.
Well, when you've been in it as long as you have, it's okay to forget something sometimes.
It happens in old age, right?
Well, yeah. That's funny.
So, basically, these little bad boys will go in over here.
What's your opinion on those?
I like them. I mean, you can't use it to fully just completely tension, but it does keep things from moving forward. I really like that Woodard Designs tool that they have.
Yeah.
Like, that thing is freaking cool.
I have the old one right here.
And I'm not saying that just to, it's neat. It's as opposed to the old like wooden wedge or using a screwdriver. And the fact that he makes them in all those funky colors too, it's like,
dude, the candy corn one for Halloween.
He was having fun with it, so
too cool. Adam, More Reptiles is another YouTube channel that I have. It's not, I didn't change my name to it.
Now, just to clarify, these are not lizards riding bikes, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Just checking. We're using a Merit half-link chain in chrome.
Oh man, you're gonna break a chain live on the air.
Mostly because I had this in stock and I was like, oh, I'll just use this one. So
yeah. So I want to ask about this. What do you mean you had it in stock?
I have had an ongoing relationship with Blackout, which is like Kink, Cinema. They also carry Merit and Fiend for essentially like the last 10 years through my buddy's shop and then just hucking stuff on my own. So basically shout out to those guys for taking good care of me over the many, many of years.
And if people are local to you, you can help get them some stuff.
Yep. Money talks.
Basically, Kevin's pop-up bike shop.
I'm your plug, if as I think the kids say.
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
Do they say
I don't know either. I don't know what they say anymore, man.
That's cap.
That is. But I don't think you're supposed to have a cap. So
is beanie considered a cap?
I think it's no caps like when you're not wearing a hat.
Oh.
And when you are wearing a hat, it's so you're full cap right now, I think.
Oh, okay.
And we are looking really, really old to anyone in this chat right now. I'm going to pop off the guard because I usually don't use those anyway, but it's going to make it a lot easier to build this and not fool around trying to thread it through a drive side guard.
There's a certain level of things that we just don't have to do right now to make it not.
We'll get the main bits on, and then we're not going to dial in the brakes because we're on hour 3 of this live stream now.
I've done that. I've literally done that. You can find it. I have 3 and 4 hour live streams from me dialing brakes in and doing all this crazy stuff. So we don't need to do it again.
No.
Ask Kevin about his Fortnite gameplay skills. He's playing us with all his talk of youngins.
Well, thanks, James. Appreciate it. Yeah, the kids downloaded Fortnite, and then it was like, okay, well, I tried a little bit, and then I realized that they had a Optimus Prime like skin, and I was like, man, I should try to get that. That'd be kind of cool. And I started doing some duels with James and got pretty decent at it. I just like to pick it up and shoot things for a bit, and then play a round or 2 and be done. So
yeah,
that's
funny.
A lot of video games have gotten really complicated. Yeah. And it's like, I just want something fun. I want like the old Tony Hawk like pro skater experience. You pick it up, you bang out a couple of skates and some tapes, and you're done. So, and that was a park tool.
Boom, boom, boom. Look at the logo on that. Can you make it so the light shines on it a little better? Because you can't really see it. Well, just angle the chain breaker towards the light. There you go. That is so cool. You can just tell that it's a bit older from the decal or the logoing on it. Chain is going on.
All right, we're gonna get to the point before I put the seat post on and stuff like that. There's not an option to do a poll in the live stream, is there?
Is indeed a poll option. We could get it going now while you're doing other stuff.
So let's see. Let me pull this one off real quick.
Which seat should Kevin install? Option 1.
Option 1 is the Kink Oceanic.
Oceans 11.
Which is cool. It kind of looks like a heat map.
That's the one from your previous bike. Okay.
That's the one from my previous bike. Or the other option is a slightly older one that's still in the packaging from a couple of years back.
Which one is this?
This is the Kink Smut 2.
Smutly start pull.
So this not even opened yet. So I'm leaving this decision in the fate of the live chat, and we'll see what you come up with.
So far, no one has voted.
Got to give it a chance.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, it's 50-50. Yes, people, do it. Make Kevin decide. Oh, it's back to 50-50. Oh, back to the Smutly. Oh, people want that one. Oh, it's going back to Ocean's 11. Nope, it's an overwhelming 88% to 12% so far.
88%. Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow.
That's too funny.
Bob has spoken, I guess.
But you know what? Funny.
The beauty of it is, though, is it takes the pressure off of me having to make that decision. So I can't sit there and go oh man, it's should I have used the old one or should I have used the new one?
Yep.
So
I think people like the Smut.
I know. I wish I would have gotten a few more of those, but unfortunately, we can't travel back in time yet.
I'm gonna get demonetized.
No, it's pretty safe.
No, I mean just for saying the word smut that many times.
I'm not even sure what you can and can't say on here anymore. It's I'll
be honest, I don't care.
Okay, good. Ooh, it's looking pretty sharp. All right, so while we make sure that susses out, we got a Kink Stealth seat post, which I think some folks might be familiar with the concept, but most of your pivotal seats have that access patch on the top that you have to shove an Allen key into.
Yep.
And, it kind of gives you a hole there already, which a lot of times starts to tear. With the Stealth ones, there's no hole because your access is underneath.
And you tighten it with an Allen from the bottom.
Yep, right, with an Allen from the bottom. It's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey.
And if you get a normal seat post and use one of those, guess who's buying a super extendo Allen wrench?
Yes. It will. Granted, most of you guys are probably using seat posts that are about this long.
You're a little high. So move down.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're probably using a seat post about this long, so you can probably get away with a standard, a long Allen, one of those L-shaped ones.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to do it on this, good luck.
You just need a Allen socket and 6 extensions.
Well, if you get the long Allens, if you have one of these,
yep,
with an extension, you can probably do it. So, So the Smut one on that one.
So right now it's in the lead, 69%.
Oh. That's it. We end on that note. You can't do any better, Brant. That's
gosh.
That is literally that is internet perfection.
Smut is in the lead with 69. too funny.
Always
Railed
make sure you
seats.
grease your seat tube.
This
Railed
just
seat. I have had railed seats before. Yes. So
someone said railed seats don't have a hole in them either.
nope, they don't. That is true. That's railed seat seems like a real trails thing. Like
Yeah,
it's
these
real
days
trails
it
vibe.
does. Oh,
So
it went up to 73% now.
okay. Does it say how many people have voted?
15.
Hmm.
Well, I don't
All
think
right,
it's gonna change.
the rest of you, I'll give you like 3 seconds. I'm not going to switch out the grips because that's just going to be a nightmare of me. You're basically going to watch me struggle trying to get these things on and off without
yeah.
an air compressor. So we'll just have to have you imagine
Rubbing
what it'll look like
alcohol works.
That is true. So, but it'll look like
That.
it'll look like that. We'll Photoshop them in later.
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
once everything is together and done. I'll send you some nice pictures for it. So.
That works.
Plus, maybe you could even see me riding it. Holy shit!
Ooh, MISC Kevin on Instagram. So no more votes have come in.
No more votes?
The winner.
Okay. That's the winner. Okay. Can you see here, like that we're sealed?
Is this an unboxing now?
It's basically an opening inning. So.
Here it goes.
Oh.
And you just lost all of the value.
You probably should have looked it up on eBay beforehand.
Ooh,
Damn it.
I'm kind of curious at this point.
Yeah, it's the Kink Smut 2.
I don't know what's going to happen if I type those 2 words in on the internet.
I would say put it into eBay first, maybe.
$40 or best offer.
Okay. I was gonna say, if all of a sudden it was like $150 with a sold listing, I'd be like, sorry guys, I'm overriding.
Don't even, there's only one.
Well, now that was gonna be even more valuable, so.
And it's used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Cool. What?
Just like that.
Okay, so there's a couple of people who are who are late. Paul James said, "What wheels is Kevin rocking?"
They are the Cinema Reynolds rims with a Cinema FX front hub and an Odyssey Clutch Pro for the rear.
Does Cinema have the best team in BMX? Or the most stacked team?
Yeah, I mean, you've got what? You have Reynolds, you've got Curly, you've got who else is on there? I'm really bad with BMX media.
Garrett Reynolds, Chad Curley, Dakota Roche, Nathan Williams. Okay. Just those 4 names alone.
That's a lot of hit right there.
Are insane. Let me just go to their site, pull up their team page. Team Corey Martinez.
Oh yeah, Martinez. That's right. My bad.
That's the pro team.
I'm doing a very bad job here.
That's okay.
Trying to do this upside down and backwards.
That's okay. This is technically like the last part that we have to put on here.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
And then it looks like a bike. So.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
Did y'all see that roof grind clip Dakota put on his Instagram today? I did not, but now I'm gonna go look.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'll have to show everybody.
It's very heavy.
Once Instagram decides to load for me. There he is. And it'd be the non-pinned clip. Jeez. Oh, that's funny. Man, anybody who 180s off a roof like that is just insane. Cole Volker is on the flow team. I didn't see that. Not the FX2 Free Coaster Hub? ?
Nope. I when the first clutch came out, the accompanying media that went along with it from George French, is the guy that does like a lot of the G Sport stuff. I basically described it as free coaster porn. It was amazing. Like 15 minutes worth of videos breaking it down and stuff like that. I used the V1, I used the V2, and I just moved on to the Clutch Pro, which has a couple of little bells and whistles on it and stuff like that. But I have not used the Cinema one, but I mean, Reynolds and Gurley and all those guys like use it, so I'm assuming it's got to be a good free coaster. But as we were talking about earlier, some people like that real instant engagement, or I like running mine max slack. I like it being like super like basically like that's gonna make me happy. I want
That's crazy.
like, and this one you can adjust without having to like take it apart, so that's kind of cool.
It has a button.
It has a button, and it has a grease port too, which is wild. So I gotta play with like little bits and pieces.
It literally has a button.
It has a button.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's
the bike, right?
Not too shabby.
I think it looks good. Are you stoked?
So I am stoked. Now the fun part is, I don't know if I told you about it, but we're gonna take some of these things off and put the old one back together so we can finish up a video tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Yep. So
are you filming building that bike again?
No, I'm finishing up a personal video project that I started like 2 weeks ago because I decided let's do it 2 weeks ago. And I don't want to take my brand new untested rig out and try to like bang out another 20 some odd clips tomorrow. So, so we're just going to huck this stuff back on, or the few bits and pieces back onto that. We'll leave this like this, and then we'll basically finish building it up,
Do you have a scale?
I don't. And I feel really bad about not having one. So I can go and dig in the garage. I might have one.
Do you have a person scale?
I don't even have a person scale. So
well, then we're gonna have to leave it up to people finding your Instagram and
we'll post when we post this as it's fully built with its new grips and its new levers, and we get a full weight on there. So.
Yeah, because technically it wouldn't be completely accurate because those grips have some material gone, the brake levers.
There's material loss. There might be some more machining on the new ones. So
technically it could be off by 0.1 ounces.
That's true. But you came out looking pretty sharp. So
Josh says I bought you a scale.
You bought me a scale and it's in the garage. Okay, I got to go find it. So.
And I think
we have to add the front brake cable as well too. So
Yeah.
But yeah, grand scheme of the universe, she came up pretty sharp. So
I think it looks good. Are you happy?
I am happy. I am stoked. Now I gotta, like I said, put it back together and then go smash that one a little bit more, and then I'll tell you about that project when it's done. So which will hopefully maybe only be less than a week. So.
I'll post it or talk about it on BMX News.
Oh my God. Now there's pressure.
No, not at all.
Any other questions or like?
Does anyone have any questions? Actually, this is a nice new feature.
Thank you all for joining us. Yeah.
I have there's a Q&A feature that I want to try out. Does anybody have any questions? Start Q&A. How this works, but we're gonna find out.
That was one way to find out. I'm pulling it up right now to see if it'll actually show on here for me, because on my Roku it's not showing.
Well, if anybody has any questions, leave them on the Q&A thingy right now, because I don't know how it works and I would really like to know.
Solid fistful of seat posts. Yeah, James, I'm sorry. I'll put more seat posts up. Don't worry.
What?
Projector stem. He said the solid. I don't know how old this chat is, but he said a solid fistful of seat posts, shorter than I expected. Yeah, the seat is going to have to get readjusted up.
What
I need
brakes?
to figure out. The brakes were Kink Desist 2s that just came out. They can be used for front or back, dual cable or single. Available in silver and black. You can also get a kit with that comes with the lever and like a straight cable. So
yeah, and they're a slightly updated version of the previous. Next question, yep. Caleb Oni, what's your favorite part on your bike?
What's my favorite part?
Pick one. Good luck. I know what it should be.
I mean, it's probably going to be the pedals. Like,
oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
You were thinking the stem, right?
Yep. Yep. I thought it was going to be the stem.
I mean, the pedals, I love them. And it's funny because I only land up having to change out stuff on the left side. Like the right side one is, I don't grind on that side. So that one stays perfect. The left one gets mangled. Jeff said to run the cables through the crossbar pad. Nah, got to have them flopping around in the breeze there. So
next question. It's asking about the stem. It's the projector stem, correct? He said I came in here late.
Yep, the cinema projector. It's still available in a couple of colors. I believe black, silver, purple, gold, and vapor gray.
Yeah, that was one of the colors.
Mm. I wish that they did the rims in vapor gray. I would have totally grabbed that.
Yeah.
But colors in BMX has been real. Things have been kind of weird and tight. So it's like the crazy, insane options of everything seems to be a little bit more reserved as of late. So
yeah, and it'll be that way for a little while moving forward. Next question. The brakes, are they polished or more raw alloy?
They are polished. Actually, what I'll do is I'll grab this and we can actually roll over here.
Get a nice, better look at them. Yep, so they definitely look polished. They're not just like a raw aluminum.
Yeah, they got a shine to them. Not as chrome as chrome, but nice and shiny. Your typical polished rim kind of like look.
Yep. Oh, they're asking about the brakes. If they were polished, and yes, they seem to be a little polished. Next question. What's your favorite action figure in that case back there? Whoa.
It's a tough call.
Yo, that guy with the cannon on his shoulder is pretty tight.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's a tank.
Probably out of this case, I'd probably say Skybite, which is the guy that looks like he has a shark fin on his head. Because he has a shark fin on his head and he's got a giant tail that is also his hand. So
cool. So at this rate, we did it.
Not too shabby.
We built the bike.
I like it.
And it's good. So I think that's it, right?
Time to sign off and say fare thee well. Thank you all for joining.
Follow him on Instagram to see clips of this bike in action here once he finishes his new project. I'll pull up his Instagram right now.
Thank you, Brant. Pleasure as always. What do we clock in here for time? How long? Like
hour and 10 minutes. Here's
Not
Kevin's Instagram.
I keep saying that, but it's all good.
So everybody, follow Kevin on Instagram. Follow Jeff Mead while you're at it too, because his Instagram got hacked. And
yeah, and report the old one if it's still like spouting off stories about like
Bitcoins. So I'll pull Jeff's up too, just because there's Jeff's as well. And on that note, everybody, I appreciate you hanging out, Kevin. It was fun building your bike, even though I didn't.
As always, sir. You lived vicariously through me. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, I appreciate we doing this, and he has to look at it for at least an hour.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna turn this off. We're just gonna sit here and admire it until we move stuff back over.
That's awesome. So yeah,
thank you all for joining. Thank you for helping me make the really hard seat decision. I'm probably going to be getting a different crossbar pad from the as well. So shout outs to the Blackout/Kink, which is also Cinema. My guys over at Full Factory, which is Odyssey, that's for the fork and the rear hub. Brant as well for having me on here, and all my Buffalo crew for being rad and putting up with me for all these years.
And making 50 YouTube accounts so it can look like there's a lot of people watching.
There's only 3 people watching, but just multiple devices.
Just kidding. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another video.